Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. In this week's video, we're still exploring the rugged and wild, beautiful southwest coast of Turkey. Some like to call it the Turkish Riviera or the Turquoise Coast. Enjoy!
We're just getting ready to sail about a quarter mile into the Blue Grotto. Absolutely gorgeous mountainside out in front of us, going right down to the water. Black Sands Beach, of course. Lots of plastic bottles, so Jen and I are gonna straighten it up what we can. It's probably more than what we could collect, but lots of plastic bottles, and it's such a beautiful beach.
What is it?
It's a hut.
It's a hut.
Yeah, it's a hut.
Let me see what you've got so far. Show me your hand.
Yep, I knew it.
Those are all shells right there?
No, those are
Oh.
glass pieces and rock.
Oh, okay. Good morning. We're here at the Blue Grotto, getting my wetsuit on because the water's kind of chilly today. We're gonna go explore some caves. We tried to go in yesterday, but they're too small for the dinghy, but everything I've read about said they're spectacular. So we're gonna dinghy over and somebody's gonna tie up the dinghy and I'm gonna go in and try and get some video. we're saying goodbye to the Blue Grotto this morning. Absolutely wonderful. Just gorgeous. I don't know if you can hear, but I'll move to the back of the boat and shut my face so you can hear the birds. And the water maker won't. Listen to that. All day long. Singing birds and the water lapping up on the shore. Just incredible. What a beautiful place, and the water is crystal blue. And we're sad to leave, but we're going to go check big bay that everybody talks about. So we're gonna go check it out. It's just around that point there. Since there's almost no wind today, it'll probably take us 4 or 5 hours to get there, but we'll see. That's the joy of cruising, right? Pretty sure I'm gonna slaughter this name, but we're sailing into the little bay. We might stay for a night or two. Buyu Kagukuyu. Okay, yeah, I'll print it on the screen, but it's a pretty little anchorage, supposedly. So these brave souls are actually headed to shore to tie off one of the stern lines so that we can get ready to anchor. And then once they get one line tied off and come out here, row out here, then we'll back up after we anchor and meet them.
That thing is huge. It's disgusting.
Oh, poor thing.
I wonder what it died from.
Let's see its back.
That?
Coloring.
It's lame.
Yeah. Don't you want to let him go?
Becca, you're supposed to throw him like a javelin so he would.
Gross. Yeah.
All right, so nobody wants to leave the boat. I guess they're all interested in electronics, and Mama's cooking, so I'm gonna go hike up a hill about 45 minutes to get to the temple, the remains of the Temple Apollo.
And I'm making dinner.
I said that, and Mama's making dinner.
Oh, you did?
Mhm. Love you.
I love you too.
My taxi just dropped me off, and they're headed back to the boat. Beautiful, beautiful anchorage. Fat guy who's been sitting on a boat for since December. It's nice to be on this hike, but look what I found. It's a porcupine quill. Just sitting here on the trail. It was so cool. I didn't know they had porcupines here, but pretty sure that's what that is. I get a wow. I'm always impressed when I see the size of the stones that they used for these construction projects. Holy, these are gigantic. They're huge. And they got them to the top of this hill. Cart wagon or something, who knows. Look at all these. Obviously this one's never been restored. There's a piece of maybe a capital decoration. Laying on the ground. Wow, impressive. Huge carved and decorated lintel. You can see the size. So this would have been part of the finished product, unplastered, part of the top capitals and the plinth going around the building and everything else, because it's this lesser limestone, probably would have been plastered white. But you can see the enormity of the size of the stones. It's incredible. Wow. 2,000 years. It's been just sitting here. Earthquakes and erosion, pillaging. This stone would be used to grind up to make things. Of course, other building materials. These things all became rock quarries for future generations. Recycle, reuse, right? Let's go take a look around the other side. Wow. So that piece we saw on the ground might have been part of the lintel going across the door, but look at this one massive piece of stone that had to be hauled up here, up the mountain. And then these other rocks. Oh, it's incredible the technology they had to be able to do this. And I mentioned it was plastered. You can actually see some of the plaster inside. I'll show you some of the plastering that used to be in there. You can actually see some of the cement plastering that used to cover the inside of the temple. And that may have been decorated and painted. Well, what I in fact had found were Illyrian tombs from around 2,200 years ago. You can see part of the arched ceiling right there. It would have been a beautiful domed ceiling. A technology and skill lost after the fall of the Roman Empire and didn't come back till much later. And you can see the keystones in the arch. The last stones so that archway would have been supported by wood. As they put all of the stones, lined all the stones up, and then the last couple keystones would have been placed on top to spread the load so that it pushes it sideways out. And you can see now the wall's starting to weaken and those keystones are starting to slip and fall down. Incredible size of these stones. You can tell this poor edifice has been... Oh wow, there's more. The hillside surrounding the valley was filled with tombs. Some were quite grand, while most were very plain and humble. A lot of the sites sadly are falling ruins to decay because little protection has been provided from the elements. Minus a little digging and quarrying in the stones surrounding it in the last 500 years, a lot of these sites remain the same as they were over 1,000 years ago when they were first abandoned. But this just adds to the incredible experience that individuals can have as they explore this untouched section of southwestern Turkey. It's incredible, the craftsmanship. This would have been just like the other one. Wow, it's gorgeous. And have survived so many years. Hard part's done. Easy part started now. I get to hike downhill. But I want to come back tomorrow morning and go down the other side of the mountain and check out the rest of the buildings. Maybe meet a couple of the locals. There's a sheep farmer that I talked to. He showed me where the cisterns were. He says they're still working and they rely upon them to water their animals. Well, there's a pretty sight. Look at that gorgeous boat. Looks like somebody else pulled up to our starboard side. Size of that thing.
He turned more blue.
Holy.
I pet him.
Wow,
Yeah, go ahead.
he's beautiful. Whoa. Oh, he's hungry too.
No,
Look at
he's
that.
angry.
Yeah, angry. This is one of our shorelines. You can see the other line going to shore. It's the stern line for when we do med mooring, which is pretty necessary here because most of the bays aren't big enough or shallow enough to be able to anchor and then swing around the anchor. So